We are waiting for Gauri Chadha. I hope. Yeah, well, I hope this works now. Hi, Praveen. Hi, hi, hi. Hello. What's up? Hi, Kajal. Hi, Kashyap. Sat Sri Akal. We are waiting for Gauri to join the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Behind the Lens. Wave. I am great today. No, this is gonna work this time. Thank you so much.
Ah,
We
finally!
made it. We made it. What's up? Hi,
You're
Kunal.
in my frame. He's saying hi to you.
Hi, Kunal. Hi, Kunal.
Awesome. Wow, we actually made this
Made
happen.
it. Yeah, finally we made it. Yeah. Oh, you look good. You look. You've done something to your hair. It's looking nice.
Thanks. I used a straightener. I mean, I don't see why there's like any harm in taking full advantage of any moment you have to feel normal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No harm at all.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
so
only.
happy this happened.
I know. I mean, it worked. I'm happy that
Why
it
don't we
worked.
tell people? Why don't we tell all these wonderful people who are joining as to how happy we are right now?
Okay, first of all, those of you who were trying to join us in the previous session, we're really sorry we couldn't make it because of some technical issue. But we figured, as you can see, we figured it out, and here we are. And yes, you can be part of Behind the Lens now, and we can continue with Behind the Lens, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Exactly. I think we
By
were,
the
I
way,
mean,
people in India, I mean, what? Sorry, you were saying.
go ahead.
I'm saying people in India who don't know who Gauri Chadha is, I just want to let them know that Gauri is a very dear friend. She's a beautiful human being. Gauri Chadha is an award-winning director. I think for your film GAWAH, you have won about like 14 awards and 21
Yeah.
nominations,
Yeah. I think a little
and
more nominations than
including the one with for best film at the Beverly Hills Film Festival, where one of the jury
yes.
member was none other than Steven Spielberg.
No, it was John Voight, Angelina Jolie's dad, who's also
Oh, okay.
a
Oh,
producer.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
But
thought it was Spielberg, and I was like,
I don't
is
mind if it's Spielberg.
well, I'm sure if he was there, he would have loved it too.
Oh, thank you. And for those in Dubai and the rest of the world tuning in who do not know who Mr. Vicky Aurora is, Vicky is also an extremely dear friend of mine. We actually met in a on a film of mine when I was working in India, which we're going to talk about a little bit. He is a phenomenally talented actor. His spectrum goes right from commercials to TV to films, both international and Bollywood-based films. He is also
Thank
an
you so much.
incredible, I'm not done yet, incredible action director. I mean, I've never known much about action directing and really the world about what action in films is about. And once Vicky kind of started exploring that and started really explaining what that was, it was the first time I realized it's an art. It's like music and dance and art all put together. So that is Mr. Vicky Aurora.
Thank you so much, Gauri. That was beautiful. Oh, hey,
So,
Crazy Holy Cafe, thank you so much for the compliment. Nanika says, wow, that's awesome. That's probably the compliment that I gave you.
thank you.
She's
I
glad
want
that
to
this
take
is
a
working.
mo
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to just tell everyone why we're doing this, right?
Why are we doing
Like
this? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're doing
So
this. Why are we doing this?
So we decided to kind of take people a step further. I feel like everybody's just at home, and sometimes that you can feel quite separated from your art. And we wanted to take that chance of sharing our journey and kind of the really fun, crazy experiences we've had together, in the hopes that maybe, there are people out there that might feel inspired, or you just kind of feel connected, right, Vicky?
Yeah, I think that makes quite a lot of sense because I think somewhere down the line, everybody dreams to be part of something, beautiful. And also they want to understand the process also that, how it actually feels like, to
Yeah.
be there, to be present in that particular moment. So go ahead, go ahead. I mean, I think you should be the first to start with.
Yeah, firstly, I just want to say both Vicky and I want to make this interactive. Like, we want you guys, please ask away, drop in your questions. We will definitely take the time to answer them because we want this to be something that is for both of us, right? And for all you
Absolutely. I
wonderful
want
people
this
tuning in.
session not just to be like interactive. Like I want people to take something valuable out of this session. And guys, any question that you have about be it acting, be it casting, be it direction, be it storytelling,
Yeah,
anything, please just throw them away and we'll answer all of them.
yes. So, okay, so I have a question for you, Vicky. Can you talk about the moment where you found your passion? When you
What?
realized that this is what you want? When you found your passion?
When I found my passion, uh, man, you're taking me back to those memories, huh? Oh, it's just, it feels like as if an entire world has opened up to you, and you wonder, and you're standing at that moment. That's like the best moment of your life, and also at the same time, it makes you feel so bad because everything that you just realize that whatever that you were doing till now, it just didn't matter that much.
Yeah, yeah,
And but the good thing is that from that moment onwards, it's gone. Everything that you do, each and every step that you take, is just gonna add up to that magical moments. And it's, I don't think there's any destination which I decided that I want to reach a certain spot.
mm,
It was just so beautiful, the entire process. It still is. I mean, and I've realized that this is like a never ending thing, and I'm so glad that this is like a never ending thing. And I'm living these moments like each and every time. Every time I'm exploring something new about myself, about the art, about the craft, about that feeling.
yeah,
Uh, you know, it just keeps growing and evolving. You know. So yeah, I think it's the purest form of human experience, I would say.
yes. I
Yeah,
completely agree with you. It's that purity, right? And
yeah,
it's this moment where you just kind of, everything just makes sense. Everything just makes sense. Like when I think there are questions coming in, Vicky, at the same time.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I really think it's that moment where you just feel everything aligned, and it's this epiphany, and you're like, wow, this all makes sense. Because until you get to that moment, you don't really know. Okay, yeah, you might like, I might kind of like the idea of directing, but until I'm really in it and I begin to be like, wow, this all makes sense, then everything in your life kind of just
Yeah.
zooms in and all the pieces fit, right? And it's
I know
magical.
it's magical, and also it's like a see, it's like a new discovery altogether.
Yeah,
And you're like, okay, you like, oh, you knew that this is what you wanted, maybe or maybe not, and suddenly you come to a point. Okay, you know what? Okay, yeah, this is something which I'm meant for,
yeah,
and and it's just too many thoughts at that
yeah,
particular time. It just kind of makes you confusing. I'm like, okay, I thought maybe it was gonna be like this, we're gonna be like that, but it's
yeah,
this. Oh, so this is how it happens. Oh, okay, so that's the process. Oh, okay, okay, so
yeah,
that's what it takes. Oh, okay. Oh shit.
yeah.
Like lot of things at the same point of time, and it's overwhelming also.
It is for me. I remember this exact specific moment. I was in school. I went to boarding school in Switzerland, and I was doing film, like A-level film, and we were watching a lot of Hitchcock's work. And I remember watching Vertigo. Like, literally, again, I have goosebumps. I remember watching Vertigo, and like I felt this electrifying energy just like rushing through my body. And in that moment, like I remember I looked at my teacher and I was like, sir, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a director. And that was it, you know? And I think I asked that question because I think that's always a beautiful memory to go back to sometimes, right? It's always,
Yeah.
it always has a power when you speak about it. It's special. Um, and I think that is interesting to maybe share with people how we met.
Now, before we get to that,
Okay.
which was your uh, first film ever that you directed? Like first ever film project that you directed, and
Oh
why
my
did you
gosh.
choose it?
Okay. Like literally first, like including film school
Like
first, the
lit,
ones that
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. Even if it's like the experiment film kind of a project,
yeah.
like it's fine. Like which one was it?
So my first film that I ever directed was part of my program at film school in London, which was Met Film School, and it was a short film. It was called My Secret, and it was about the duality of someone's mind between life and death. Like, how does a person? It was basically about a mother who was in denial and was going through this process. Like she had just lost her child, which you find out at the end, but she kept living her life normally, so she was in a complete state of delusion, unable to kind of live in the new reality. um yeah, that was called My Secret, and that's when I really discovered the type of filmmaker I am. Remember Fried Eggs in Miami? Oh yeah, I want to show. Yeah, I remember making a film about eggs. I don't know why, a short film, but I think that's when I really discovered my voice. Like these are the type of I want to make films that are about cinematic truth. I want to direct films that have a bigger purpose about something I care about, right? That I want to bring out into the world. I think even if I were to do a comedy, I right now I'm writing a feature, but it's a dark comedy. I think that's where I really began to find my niche.
Right.
What about you? What was the first
That
film?
was your first project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
How me? I don't know. I don't even remember actually. I was just, I think I'd worked my first ever. Oh my God, when did that happen? Like I think it was much later in my life when I decided, you know what, okay, you know what, this is what I want to do. But before that, I'd already done a lot of screen appearances,
Mm,
and I was not sure whether or not I wanted to do it in my like as a career. I wanted to do this,
yeah.
and I think in my see, you've had the experience of going to a film school. I've not even had the chance to go to a film school and learn about acting. I mean, everything that we like, I did, or it was just self learning. Like it was just
Mm,
by observing people. It was just luckily I got opportunities to work with some good directors, and luckily I think I had a bit of a better understanding, and I was serious about whatever I used to take up.
yeah.
So yeah, it just kind of helped me. I still don't say that I'm really good at it. I don't know if I'm really am. I mean, it's yeah. I mean,
Ladies and
I don't know.
gentlemen, this is where Vicky becomes modest about his true craft, okay?
Now, I think it's really
But I
difficult
just
to
want to
say
highlight the
where,
point
like,
in what you said.
what? Which one?
Go ahead.
No, I
What?
just completely lost you. What?
I said,
What?
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Whiskey Walker says really great work in Illegal. Thank you so much, brother.
Amazing.
Oh, by the way,
Tell us
this
a
is
bit about
my
that.
Illegal is is a web series on air right now on Woot Select. It's a platform, and it's been owned by Viacom.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in India know about Colors channel, so Woot belongs to, the same
Yeah.
channel people. And amazing cast. It's about courtroom drama. It's a thriller, and yeah, I mean, there are a lot of details. I can't disclose it right now, but it's an amazing series packed with some brilliant actors, and I had the opportunity to work with some senior actors in the series who were
Amazing.
amazing, who helped me out also during the process, and I learned a great deal by just looking at them. So
That's what I want to highlight in what you were saying. Like when you mentioned, for example, I've been to film school and you've come through a different form of learning. I just want to highlight that I don't think you have to go to film school in order to believe that you have that talent within you. I think what you said is what it's about, that how serious are you about this, right? How willing are you to give everything you have into it? So whether you've gone to a film school or whether your schooling or your education of absorbing that world has come from a different way, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? I always feel like there's that misconception that, oh, if I hadn't gone and gotten a formal education in it, that means I don't really know what I need to know about it. No, you do. Like there's so much accessibility now, right?
I think I completely agree to that, to a very to a very high extent, because even after you go to a film school, see, it's obviously it's a craft, and I completely understand it. You can develop that craft by going to a film school or by learning few skills about,
Hmm.
even by understanding, like this is for actors. I would want to say that even for by understanding the director's process of his or her process of filmmaking, of staging and
Yeah.
blocking. I mean, it really helps even the actor to grow exponentially. And I think I was just reading a very famous director's interview, Ron Howard.
Vicky, you're cracking
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Oh, okay. Is it fine now?
It's a little better, but
It's
like it's
better.
a bit fuzzy. Yeah, is it fuzzy for other people too?
I don't know.
How
Is
many
it?
squats
Is
are
it,
perfect for
guys?
a day? I
Okay.
want to know that too. It's a little fuzzy. Hold on, it's buffering now. But
Okay.
we can still hear you. Can everyone
I
still
can hear
hear him,
you.
guys?
I can. Okay. Guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's not fuzzy for you and if you guys can hear us, please send a thumbs up. Okay.
Yes, they can hear us.
Yeah, they can hear us, I guess.
No, Vicky,
Okay.
it's cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there's a network issue. I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. I can also hear you.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, great.
Ah.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
that's Vinny, my sister there. Hi, Vinny. What's up?
Oh, hi, Vinny.
Right. So I was saying I was just going through this interview of Ron Howard, uh,
Yeah.
the director of A Beautiful Mind, and
Hmm.
he said that he said the same thing, that it's not really important to be going to a film school. I mean, obviously you should, you should learn the craft, because you're gonna understand how you should convey your story, because it's not how you assumed it to be. I mean, as an actor,
Right.
I thought that it's easy to be an actor, but when I actually got there, I know that it's not easy at all, guys. I mean, and so he said that this entire process is actually a feel through process.
Mm.
This is not a it shouldn't be like, it should be dealt intellectually, but don't make it too intellectual also at the same time. You should feel it, and that's how you should move forward with it. So
Right. And
yeah,
I think that's one way of where we really connected, Vicky. I would definitely say, as a director and as an actor, I think that's where we, working together, were able to really build a very, very strong connection to the story, to what we were trying to get out of the film, but also a very strong trust, right? I think that's a question for you.
Any memorable movie with the legendary Piyush sir? Oh, yeah, there've been a lot of memories, brother. I mean, he's very supportive, and so basically he's the kind of guy who would not say much if you're doing good. So if he's not saying anything to you, that means you're doing great. Yes, that's
That's
illegal.
all.
Illegal.
That's awesome. I think we
Right.
should tell them about our journey, right? I think that would be interesting.
I know it's high time we should tell them now.
Yeah. So, I'll give a
Wait,
little
wait. Should I
context.
start
Okay.
or you wanna start?
Okay, you start. No, you start.
Okay. 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 Before. Okay. By the way, I think we should just let them know about few details that you were
Okay.
basically making a film for your as a project for your film school
Yes.
graduation, the graduation for the
Yes.
graduation ceremony,
Yeah.
right? Right. And so basically, Gauri Chadha, a director from Dubai, comes to India and she wants to shoot a film for her graduation ceremony. And Vicky Arora, then working with his father, had no clue that he wanted to act in his life. All he wished that one day he would work in films. And it just so happened that a friend, and that's same.
Vicky,
Can you
you're
hear me? Is
cracking
it
up
breaking
again.
again? Oh my God, is it?
Now I can. No, now I think it's good now.
Wait.
We will make this happen. Be positive like we are in making films. Or maybe
Okay.
move somewhere.
Right. I don't know.
Okay.
Does this work?
Yeah, this
I
works.
just moved an
We
inch.
can hear you clearly. An
Okay.
inch makes a
Okay.
difference.
Okay. I think now you are cracking.
Really? Am I cracking? Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I fell for it. I always fall for these things, don't I? Okay, so
You
I
are
heard
cracking.
up to a mutual friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rakesh Singh,
now?
who was helping you with the casting process.
Yes,
So he kind of thought that what,
yes.
maybe
He
I
was
would fit into the
the
role.
line producer.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, he thought that maybe I would fit into the role of, I don't even know what was I auditioning for. And yeah, he asked me that, what, Vicky, yeah, there is this director. She's at the audition hall. I mean, she herself is taking the audition, and this is not really common in India, by the way. Directors don't go to the casting process.
Mm.
Cast, can you hear me?
Sorry, can they hear you properly? Guys, can you hear
Okay, one
Vicky
second.
properly?
I'm just. What's up? Hi. Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's better. Guys, is that better for all of you?
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. No.
Can you
Yeah.
hear him well?
No. You can. Praveen Raut says we
I
can't hear
can.
you. You can hear
That
me?
was before. Now you see, now they can hear you. Yes. Okay, awesome.
Okay. We can't hear you.
It's fuzzy, Vicky.
I know. I'm okay. I'm gonna try one more thing.
Please
Okay,
continue.
let's see.
Okay.
Yes, voice is
Okay.
perfect. Oh, okay, wonderful, amazing. I think the network here
Yeah.
is really, really
Pictures
crazy.
fuzzy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But we can hear you. Okay,
Okay, that's fine.
wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
Go on. So we were, yeah,
So
the
yeah,
audition.
basically, so I met Gauri. She's at the audition. I mean, the studio, and it's likely that sometime that you'll have directors sitting at the casting director's chair inside the studio, and it's all new for me. I'm kind of nervous, and I'm wearing slippers, and this is the first time that I'm wearing slippers to my audition,
Why?
and I'm
Why were
like,
you wearing slippers? What
I
was
don't
the
know, I
role
don't know.
that?
I was not even briefed about the character. I'm like, what am I auditioning for? And she's sitting there, and she got it. The first thing that she asked me is, "Ke English comfortable hai ya Hindi?" I was like, anything. And she's telling me everything about. She's asking me if I've been to Dubai, and I told her, that I've never been to Dubai, but I have a relative who stays in Dubai, and then there are questions about everything about Dubai, or so basically she didn't tell me anything about the character. She just gave me a situation, and she just asked me to act it out. That's it. And as far as I remember, you didn't even like the audition.
No, so that's what I want to talk about. So this film, basically, in the most correct terms, was not greenlit to be shot in its original location, okay? In its
Okay.
original country. So it was kind of a very last minute thing where suddenly I had to find a place um, to be able to get this film done. And I'd already shot a documentary in India, which is the one that, I was traveling around the world with. So it made sense that since I had that support and I kind of already had that structure for me to come back. So the film is called Sightseeing, and it's basically about a man's dream, and it's set between a parallel reality of a construction worker in Dubai and his flashback life of him arriving in Dubai, kind of being tested by Mother Nature, being stranded in the desert, and him walking to the city of his dreams. And it was really about trying to build this bridge that we all have dreams. We all have them, and it doesn't matter where we come from or what our economical background is. We have dreams, and I wanted to bring that a step forward to the audience. So here
I
comes
think
Vicky, and
you should also mention that how long you've been, working on this film.
yeah, it's one of those that has been going on for a while, because when you do not when you have limitations that come in that are out of your control, films and arts have the power to say strong messages, right? And
Right.
sometimes politics and culture and so forth comes into play. So there's always a film will always come out when it needs to come out. You know what I mean? Like it will always find its path when it has to. So here comes Vicky, and I am exhausted because my Hindi skills at that time, I mean, they're better now. But I was sitting there the whole day going through this. Hi, Dad. Going through all of this, and Vicky comes in and he does his hopefully soon. We're hopefully going to release it soon. Vicky does his audition, and I didn't really think much too of it. At that time, one of the co-producers that was working on the film with me, this is what I really wanted to highlight when it comes to a director and actor relationship. She's like, Gauri, he's the perfect fit. I'm like, no, he's not. Like, I don't see
Of course
him
I
playing the
am.
character that I
Of
had
course I was.
visualized initially, right?
Gauri, I was
I have to be
perfectly,
totally
I
honest.
don't.
No, listen. So that what I'm trying to highlight is the more open you know what you need and want as a director, but be open to understanding what is around you. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel we get so much in our own heads that there could be something so incredible in front of you and you wouldn't realize it because you're so fixated that this is exactly how my character is. And once I made that shift in my mind and said, oh my God, I'm stereotyping the presentation of how I want this character to be. And once I crossed that and I sat and I looked back at your edition, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. And the next thing you know, Vicky and I are sitting in sand dunes in Jaisalmer
Yeah.
in the scorching heat. Um, how do you even
No,
describe?
no,
I mean,
no.
you
I, I
describe. I don't
remember
know.
we had a 1 week workshop also before that
Yes,
inside the
yeah.
studio.
Yes,
where
you did.
yeah, where you were like trying to do one of the most important things that I feel that every director should do. All the biggest directors do that, and so does Gauri Chadha.
Thank
And
you.
the process where a director bridges the gap between the character and the actor, and I didn't see it as I said, it was back then. I mean, it was really new for me, and I didn't understand so many things about the entire process. I mean, even hearing it again from your mouth.
Hold on, Vicky. It's cracking again. Vicky, it's cracking. Vicky, I can't hear you.
Give me a second.
Vicky.
I'm gonna try shift the location again.
Okay, try. Oh,
Okay, just give me a moment. All
did you
right.
move it an inch? Did
In
you move it an inch?
okay, is that the now? One second, just give me a second. Whoa!
Oh, okay. We're going to make this happen, guys. We're going to make it happen. Because I still haven't told you the actual juice and the madness of our fucking relationship together on that film. See, inches work. Yes. Crazy holic after. We're gonna make it work, guys. He is so good and Gauri is so good.
Whoa!
Thank you, Mom.
I
Yes.
have
Cool. Is that better?
right better.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am
So I was saying while you were cracking up, I was saying we haven't even got into the juice and the dirt of our our time together.
right.
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
Nanny. Hi, partner. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I
Okay.
mean, the video is a
Okay,
bit
great.
fuzzy, but I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to say what somebody asked earlier, what was my favorite moment of working with Vicky as an actor?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when we went through the process of this character, it was a very heavy character to take on. There was the character, the entire film was on the weight of this character's shoulders. Yeah.
Aditi, no, she's married, Aditi.
Oh no, I'm married. We're just really good friends. Thanks. My husband's
Right.
watching. Yeah. So, when we went through that process, it really is about the bonding and developing that bridge to the character. Because unless you, as an actor, what is my job as a director? I'm definitely somebody that is an actor's director. Um, I always say that, there's an action that you're more focused on the action, or you're more focused on the actors. I'm more of an actor director. That's where I really thrive and that's where I really enjoy. And each actor is bringing something special, right? They're bringing something special to that character. It's about me being able to identify that and working with you for us to build that together. And what Vicky and I did in our process is that we really broke down the character. And, Vicky spent time at construction sites in India, in Bombay, right?
Yep.
He was
Right.
writing diaries. We really kind of tried to dive in to try and play this world the most honestly we could,
Right.
right? To give it the most
Everything that you
respect.
asked me to do.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
But
had no idea what I was doing, but I just thought that maybe if I don't know anything, then I should just listen to my director. That's it.
but that's beautiful, right? It's about the trust. When you have that trust, that's the power. And I'll give you a very small example. We were literally in the middle of the sand dunes. It was scorchingly hot. Like, it was ridiculously hot. I remember one of our team members, who's a very, very successful, much more senior to me, was kind of like, "You're crazy. Like, nobody wants to do this." I'm like, "No, we can do it. We can do it. We just need to have the tenacity, right?" And
Right.
there was a scene because Vicky, your background of being in action and being into all this kind of not like that more. I mean, it's you, right? As an action, you have that value as an actor that you're bringing in from your action background. So when we're telling you we left you in the
Right.
desert
Thank you.
alone with half a bottle of water, um, you were there. I mean, we didn't leave you. We made you think we left you. We were watching you, and you came back and you were really that character. And there was a scene that we were shooting where basically this character sees a mirage because they're absolutely famished and extremely thirsty. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can.
And,
I can.
there was this thing where we said, okay, the character has to, feel sick, basically. And Vicky's like, I got it. And it became this incredible, like, Vicky was magnifying on that film. He was literally
Yeah, I
like
can
in
be
the
really
depths
sick
of the
if you
sand.
ask me to.
Yeah.
I'm saying I can
Because
be
he
really sick
was.
if you ask me
And
to.
he was like literally there was a point where I had to stop him and I'm like, Vicky, stop. Like now we're back in real life. Like, do you know what I mean? I think that's a process for both the director and the actor where sometimes we get warped into that world of the
Right.
character or the story or, and it's hard to kind of disconnect at times. And when you have that relationship of trust, where that your director is pushing you, that's what I always try to do, that my actors feel as safe as I can make them feel, because then they're going to allow me to push them, right? If you feel safe with me, then I know what buttons to push, I know how to get what is out of you and pace that throughout the film. But that tenacity was like, wow, what I thought this character was and what Vicky had brought to it was mesmerizing. It was mesmerizing. And I think everybody really felt that during that film. I think that was where we all kind of were like, wow, it's just all making sense.
I also feel that a lot of the credit also goes to the director, which is you, because as I said, I knew nothing about. I mean, I knew only little that I have to give my best at this, and I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know the process. I didn't. I hardly knew about the character. I mean, you were the one who actually, helped me bridge the gap. But at the same time, I think what's most beautiful about the entire process was you also allowed me to explore on my own. You gave me that freedom to,
Thank you.
uh,
Yeah.
to bring whatever I can by on my own, which gave me the confidence that, what, I can do this. Also, I remember very well when I read the script for the first time. This was, I think, it still has been the only script which I felt that after reading it completely, I felt like I didn't understand it, and I was like, and this was, and yeah, I didn't understand it,
Wait, it's good
and
that
you're
he
like,
tells
and
me
and
that
I
now.
remember asking you. I remember asking you this. I remember asking you this. Is this the complete script? And you're like, yeah, this is the complete
Yeah,
script.
yeah, I remember.
Oh, and yeah, and this is the first
Oh.
time in my life that I felt that maybe I'll not be able to do this. I
Hmm.
really felt that. And like I have never ever felt that, like even today I've been through so many scripts, and I like, it's not like I've not understood script. I've understood all the scripts, but I can now, I can choose, what to select and what not to select,
Yeah.
whether or not I want to play this. But that was that one script which I really wanted to do, and I didn't understand it, and I was like, the first I was questioning my talents, like, not that I had many, but at that time, but
Yes.
I was still questioning it, that maybe I'll not be able to do this. But you helped me a great deal in understanding the character, in feeling the way that the character would feel. See, bridging the gap is just a technical term to explain people,
Yeah.
but you helped me uh, live the life of a character, of somebody who who doesn't even exist, and But at the same time, when I was exploring it on my own, I realized that that character actually lives in each and every one of us. And
Yes.
instead of thinking it in a way that, you know what, I don't have enough, I actually thought that, you know what, I have a lot that I can take a reference from. I can really live this character. And I clearly remember this when you were talking about it, that, you know what, that maybe we shouldn't go to two extremes. You know, it's really, because it's really easy to get into a character, but sometimes it becomes really difficult to get out of it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so is with the director, by the way. That goes for the
Yes.
director also.
Yes. Exactly. There's a
Yeah.
question,
So I
Vicky,
think,
that Gauri ma'am. Oh yeah, go ahead,
Gauri ma'am, one memorable
Vicky.
moment on set with Vicky. You want? No? Okay. Okay.
No,
I'll
I
finish
would
the
love
point
to.
first.
Yeah, finish the point
Uh,
first.
okay. I think Uh, just moments ago you were talking about something similar, and that's when I realized that, you know what, uh, it's easy for an actor to get into a character and then start assuming that, that it becomes so tightly knitted to that
Hmm.
particular character, that, you know, it the life, that living the life of that character becomes more easier than living your own real
Your
life.
own. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
And
so tricky.
yeah, and it's really trippy, because then, because you find comfort over there, and then in a moment, but indirectly, like, you just don't feel like as if you really want to get back to your real life. I don't think if someone has, been there, can ever live their own lives again. But I think, yeah, I mean, you would understand it. Yeah, but please, I would like you to share something on it.
Yeah, I mean, I really, it's a process, right? You'll see when it comes to stage, you'll see a lot. I'm an improviser. I do a lot of improvising, and we always see that we walk away and drop our characters. So many times you'll see actors that they'll go behind the curtain or just open the curtain, so that character is gone. For example, when you do clowning, like you never put your nose on in front of the audience. You'd always be with your back to the audience and put your nose on. Because there's almost like an onus you have to give that character and respect you have to give that character's world in. To be honest, even though it's tricky, I'd rather be addicted to my characters and not be addicted to them. You know? Like
Okay.
I enjoy that. I enjoy that addiction of these wonderful people. Like to me, they exist. Like to me, any character that I've written or that I create, they're still there in the world to me. They're somewhere.
Yeah.
They're sitting inside
Yeah.
people and, they're maybe sitting having a cup of coffee outside, I don't know, a Starbucks right now, somewhere in the world reading a book. Like what book are they reading? I don't know what book they would read. You know what I mean? So it's that,
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I
I
absolutely
think
love that.
I think what's trippy for actors, for that matter, is even after when you have finished working on the project, I feel like some part of the characters always stays with you,
Yeah, they do. And as the
whatever they do.
yeah, as a director,
Like,
you're going through it. For example, I write as well, right? So I'm going through it during the writing phase. Then I'm going through it through pre-production, then post-production. All of a sudden, you almost see like a different light to the character as well. Which is the
right.
same. Like when you're looking at the final cut, like when you're actually seeing the finished product as an actor, I'm sure it brings a different sensation or a different shade to that character
I
as
couldn't
well,
recognize
right?
myself. I couldn't recognize myself. The first time when I saw you, when you invited me over to the edit, and you asked me to, like, this is what we've edited, and I was like, who's this guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But it's
someone has a
yeah, I
question for
think
you.
yeah.
Let's, Gauri ma'am, one memorable moment on set with Vicky.
Okay.
One
So
only. One only.
okay, I have one. So we were in the same film. We were in the middle of the desert, and it was really hot. Okay, really hot. And on the walkie-talkie, you just hear me yelling or something like, "Guys, we need Vicky out. We need Vicky out." And then someone's like, "No, Vicky's passed out or something." I don't know what because it was so sunny. And then he comes out and I'm sitting on the crane. So I'm very hands-on as a director. Like I am someone like I want to get in the mud. I want to get in there. I want to get dirty. Like I want to be in it. So I love, and I used to work as a focus puller as well. So I love that, I definitely am not the one to kind of, just kind of sit in the background and have it happen. So I'm sitting on the crane with my DOP and Vicky comes where he's almost looking like he's going to pass out. And he's like, will you please wear a hat? I'm like, no, 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 I'm fine. I'm fine. And he's like, you look like you're about to fall off the crane. Wear the hat. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, because I was a producer as well, right? And
Right.
sometimes we take all that weight upon ourselves. And that's where I feel like is a mistake. That's been my learning. Like, it's okay. I don't need to know all the answers as a director. I have my team. You are the best at what you do, right? The sound designer is the best at what he does. Everybody has that. If the art director is saying, this is what I feel, I mean, take that in. Be open to the teamwork. And it's okay to say, I don't know. What do you think? Right? Let's bring each other into it. So that moment was the moment where I really realized, like, I'm part of a greater team. I don't need to take that upon me. But it was just hilarious that Vicky was kind of like, I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to tell anybody else, but I got you. You need to get off that crane or you're going to fall off.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's just so many memories, about
Yeah.
sightseeing. Yeah.
My mom is saying the first time we screened it at my apartment in Mumbai, there was no dry eye, so emotional. Oh. So,
Right.
what do you
Okay.
feel when it, like, yeah,
Yeah. No, you asked me.
go on. No, I was just
No,
going
you
to
go
say,
on.
like, what do you feel a director expects when you show up on set?
I think that's the next question also. I mean, she's also asking, Crazy Holly Kafu is asking, how hard is it to build a rapport with director, like Gauri ma'am?
You have to
Uh,
answer that.
right. See, I think there should be at the base level. Every actor should prepare to some extent, uh, uh, because I think even before meeting the director over here, what happens is like you've been given a lot of information about this. Like you've been shared a brief about the character, you've been shared a brief about the story, and so you kind of gauge like the structure of what your character will be like. But
Yeah.
until unless you have met the director, I think you shouldn't be fixed on things and finalize things about that. This is how your character is going to be, because ultimately it's always the director's vision, and you have to trust it. And I had difficulty during my initial days where I there were a couple of times, and I think I had asked for your suggestion too. But what should I do in such scenarios? That if I ever get stuck into a situation where I'm working with a director who doesn't, who's not so cooperative, who's not, who's very
Yeah.
fixed on that. I only want this, I only want that, and he's not like being an actor on the project has not sat with me and taken me through the process. I mean, it's really difficult when you're working with such director. But then ultimately, I think the best thing that you can do is just trust your director, do as he says, and be as true as to the character as possible, and always keep asking,
Yeah.
is what I feel.
I think
Yeah.
every director has a different style, right? Like I have a different style. With experience, you understand what your style is as a director. The more you create, the more you do, you learn. Okay, this is my approach. This is who I am as a director. This is my voice. Like I said, if I were to do a comedy, I would definitely. Right now, I'm writing a film about a dark comedy about surrogacy. But I'm someone where, I went to Gujarat, I spent time in the villages, I spent time in the towns, meeting these women, meeting the agents, meeting the women who are doing it, meeting the doctors. So I'm someone that I really have to dive in. And that's where I bring in that information when I'm working with my actor, because I've spent time, for example, sightseeing. I spent so much time with construction workers here in their rooms, spending time with them. What do they do for fun? What do they do when they sit in their rooms together? So I think it's also, one thing is listening to the other person, but it's also understanding where are they coming from. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, as a
Like
director,
in
where, because the
simple
way
words,
I,
if I want to know, in simple words, if I want to know that, you know what, suppose you've got this story to tell as a director, and you've already, in your mind, you have just you've made up your character that this is how they're gonna be. What is the first thing that you do when, during the casting process? So I'm just trying to understand the casting process from a director's point of view. Uh, what exactly, goes around into the head of a director while casting for his or her actors?
see, firstly, it depends. You need to know your characters well enough, right? You need to understand, okay,
Absolutely.
what is it that I'm trying to bring out? For me, I look at an actor that's bringing a sense of a texture. I look at an actor that's adding a value to my character that perhaps because that's why there's a process, right? What's written on a page is written on a page. A director's job is to bring that vision to life, an actor participating in that. So when I'm looking at that actor and I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking for depth. I'm looking for a spectrum of shades that they're going to bring to that character. I'm looking at this character or not. Is they may not consciously understand it, but as a director, can I see that? Can I see those shades within them? And honestly, for me, I, for me, yes, you can have all the talent in the world, fantastic. But if you're not professional and you're not disciplined, I don't want to work with you because I don't want to venture into that. I want to work with
Right.
people that give the same respect to this art form that I do. I don't want to, you know what I mean? That's where things become. If you want to play an ego game, I'm definitely like, I don't want to do that project. Yes, there are egos and they all come into play, but I'd rather work with an actor who has that flexibility, who has that discipline, who has that determination, because I know the likelihood of them being more successful to bringing this film to life is there, right? Rather than working with somebody that's just throwing a fit, I mean, it's just not my way of working.
Exactly. So apart from just being talented, the person should also be a team player.
Yes, definitely, because it is a team, right? There are moments where you're just sitting there going, what are we doing? Why? This is crazy. Like my film GAWAH, I was, running through bomb sites. I've been chased by the police. And I remember I'm trying to figure out how do I even articulate this in Hindi to them. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. Like, things happen. And things, coming from a documentary background, you really do get thrown. It's not as secure, right? It's not as
Yeah.
secure as
Yeah,
a
yeah,
locked
yeah.
set.
Completely,
You're
completely.
running, so you're faced with all these erratic, absolute maddening things. I mean, little did I know, if father probably doesn't even know that till now, that I was literally sitting in South Mumbai getting chased by these two policemen on their motorbikes, and I'm taking the camera with my DOP, and we're running and trying to jump into a rickshaw, and we're both just hugging the camera, like, don't let go. I built like spy bags and shoved the camera in to walk through VT station, like with train tickets on my wrist and my watch in case we get caught. So I think it's just that you want to work with people that have that same respect and passion, and
Right.
it's exciting.
Okay. Speaking of which, part of which I think you've already answered, but also there's this. Oh
My
wait, I mean, I
father
don't
says,
know.
"Oh my God, sorry, Dad."
Oh, this is the first time that he's getting to know about this.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's
yeah,
crazy. So,
yeah.
what do you think? What do you think about? See, uh, part of the process of casting also is that most of the time directors or producers want to cast like popular people, like famous stars, celebrities,
Yeah.
to bring in more commercial value to the project. So, what do you have to say when I ask you popular versus talented?
I think it depends on what you're creating, right? It depends on what your purpose is of what you're creating. It's that simple. if you are someone that's sitting there and you're, those are the those are the kind of the ingredients of this product, and the purpose of this product is its commercial value, because there is still a business. We all need to live. We all need to survive. We all need to make our lives, right? At the end of the day, you can't sit and say that, oh, there's just art. There has to be a feasibility to it, because you want to be able to do it more at the end of the day.
Right.
So I think it depends on the project, right? I think, like, for example, for me, I've always worked in a way where I want to work with that talented actor. I want to work with an actor that's respected. I am not in there to kind of, I wouldn't make like a typical Bollywood franchise. Even if I was given that opportunity, I would honestly say that I'm not the right director for it, because you need to know what you are the right director for, what you are the right
Right.
actor for. Not every role is for you. Not every film is for me, right? It's the same with commercials. As I direct commercials, I'm put into a little bracket where these are the commercials I get, because that's where that's what sells at the end of the day, right? There is that selling power. So I do think there is a greater industry, and we're all a part of it. It's up to you to kind of choose. I can't blame somebody. I don't have that idea that, you're making stupid cinema, or it's not even cinema. Well, you're making it for the purpose you want to make it. I might not desire that, but
Hmm.
you're making it for what you're making it at the end of the day.
And
It's about,
what if someday you get stuck into a situation like this where you being the director, but the producer or somebody influential from the project is more keen on casting someone who's popular rather than just talented, like
so
maybe.
I would really take in why my producer is saying what they're saying, but I'm going to fight for it, because that's exactly why you have me on board. I'm going to fight for the exact actor that I think is going to bring the best to this project, which is why I am sitting here as a director. Yes, as a
Okay.
producer, the same way.
Gauri, I think somebody's saying that your sound
Oh,
seems low.
is it better?
I mean, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Guys, if you can hear Gauri clearly, just throw in a thumbs up, please.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So, so I think it really is that, right? Of course, I'm going to fight for what is required within the film. There's a difference. If something's going to come out of the film and the film is not going to fall apart, then that's just me wanting that. But if there's something that is so critical, of course, you have to respectfully express your thoughts, right? In a respectful way.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, you're not going to get everything out of one project. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get everything you want out of it. And that's,
Okay.
I've always looked at my career as a filmmaker as a long-term thing. It's not a, you can't always have what you want right away. It's a tease, right? And I enjoy that, because if I didn't get to do it here, I'm going to be able to, yeah, I mean, if my film gets banned in the country I was meant to make it in, doesn't mean I'm never going to release it. It doesn't mean I'm never going to find a way. I will find a way, right? So I
Okay.
think it's a matter of your perspective. I would fight for sure. Yeah.
Great. Okay. What do you have to say to the actors? See, I feel like in today's age there's kind of a race going on,
Mm.
uh, like a social media race, I would say. Like
Yeah.
everybody is just focusing so much on the numbers, you know what, and to a great extent I think a lot of actors, a lot of youngsters, especially in India or in Mumbai, I would say that if you have the numbers, like if you have more followers,
Mm.
you are likely to get casted in film projects, or you know what, yeah. What do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about those people who are fighting in the race?
Yeah, your question was that what do you say to people who now, when it comes to casting, a lot of people, your social media presence ends up playing a role in how many numbers you have, and you're more likely to be casted. So my simple
Right.
reply to that is, what race are you racing? Because are you racing the race of trying to get popularity, or are you actually trying to be an artist? Like, there is a difference. And if your justification, I think the people you'll also work with, right? if you're someone who's actually, yes, I'm in love with the craft of acting and I want to be an actor for the respect and the love that I have for it, you will find those right types of people that are not going to base your talent on a number that appears on your social media page.
Exactly, exactly.
You know, I think,
Beautifully answered, I would say.
thanks. No, but I
Yeah.
really think that because it's ridiculous, right? I feel,
It is ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah. How do you
It's
feel
it.
when it comes to,
I mean,
go ahead?
to be honest, it's intimidating. Uh, it's kind of puts some unnecessary pressure on you,
Mm,
and makes you want to wonder that, you know what, you train so hard and you work so hard in learning and developing your skill, and then what is it amounting up to? Like, these platforms are good. I mean, I'm not saying,
yeah.
there's no denying in that, but considering them as a mean of casting somebody in a project, just on the basis of their popularity, I would say.
I completely
I mean,
agree. So, you know, when I
then
started,
makes
when my
it
dad
makes
has,
me want to question that what are you trying to make?
exactly, what
Yeah,
race is it that you're participating in? My dad has a
yeah.
beautiful comment, Vicky, read it.
Vicky, you remind me of Irfan. Sir, I am humbled, sir, and also emotional to hear it because, yeah, I think the industry lost one of the most precious gems, when they lost Irfan. Yeah,
Definitely, definitely. You
he
know,
was.
just going back to your thing of popularity versus, talent. When I moved back to Dubai, I was directing commercials. And acting in Dubai, from my experience only I speak, it was a lot of models that will come onto the set, and there's no real understanding of the camera. There's no real, because acting has different forms. Acting for camera is different, acting for the stage is different, right? They're all different styles and different
Yeah,
disciplines.
it is. I know.
Yeah.
The first time
So
when I realized it was crazy. I was like, oh my god, acting has such a range, and
yeah,
it
definitely.
was,
And
yeah.
like now, for example, as an improviser, I've learned so much. It's helped me so much as a director as well, because it's a whole different facade of what could exist, right? When in that discipline. But I was stuck directing commercials for good brands, but directing commercials with, I mean, the casting was horrible. It was terrible. I was having to direct people that they're like, oh, okay, it's an English commercial, but they don't speak English.
What?
So I'm sitting like cutting through, literally constructing words out of what I can get, because that's what I mean. Like, as a director, and I think also as a producer, you want to work with talent that that takes it seriously. It's that
Right.
simple. And that's where, especially here, you got stuck in that because there isn't a lot of that. There are not hundreds and hundreds of actors. It's limited. There are not hundreds and hundreds of ADs or anything like that. Um, it's a limited field here. It's not like Bollywood. It's not like other developed markets. Even as a director, there are limited directors that get, that monopolize and that work comes in. So I think it exists everywhere. This constant thing between popular and talented. I think it exists everywhere. You just have to be you. You just have to fight through the battle. Um, I'd like to share a quick story about a friend of mine that I went to film school with at University of Miami. She's an incredible, incredible filmmaker. She's a documentary filmmaker. She won an Emmy for her first documentary. And it's called Losing Sight of the Shore. She basically covered 4 women who crossed the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
It's on Netflix, and she literally just hustled through her journey. And now that builds up the journey for her next documentary. And it's because she just stuck to who she is, right? She
Right.
just stuck to it. This is who I am. I'm a female documentary filmmaker. This is what I'm about. These are the stories I want to tell. And if your door doesn't open, another one will, another one will. You have to kind of have that perseverance, right? And I'm sure you've gone through that yourself. And how you're doing now is incredible, Vicky. It's incredible.
Thank you. I know
It really
it's
is.
it's just I'm just amazed at the fact that there are so many things which are common when it comes to the personality of a director and the personality of an actor, like what, and which makes me realize that our industry being so vast is actually people who get along together are the same kind of people,
Yeah.
on like, and that's what makes a beautiful team,
Yes.
because everyone is working for the project and there is no ego, there are no clashes,
Yeah.
everybody just wants to give their best, that's it.
And that's exactly it. I always have always said, I never work for you. I work for the film. We work for the film. There's
Right.
not, it's not about a hierarchy. It's not about it. Everybody has an important role to play, and I respect each role, because without one of them, the film is going to fall apart. If you don't have a sound recordist and you don't have clean sound, you're not going to have your film, right? So that respect needs to be given, definitely. But I think it's complicated because sometimes it does. I mean, I was in what, in Bollywood for 5 years? 5 years I was working, right? Yeah. I mean, there were situations where I was like, oh my God, there's so much ego. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this,
Okay,
right?
okay, okay, tell us the projects, name the projects that you have worked here in Bollywood.
Okay. My first film was Love Breakup Zindagi with
Hmm.
Dia Mirza and Zahid Khan. So that was Born Free. Then I did Mission Impossible 4. Then I did,
Wow, well, Mission
no,
Impossible 4.
that was madness. Then I did David Bijoy Nambier's,
Vijay
like,
Nambia, yeah.
yeah, his film. Then I was working. Then I was doing AD. I was ADing, and then I got fed up because I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. This is not the structure I want to be in. I'm not growing. And then I joined the camera department, and that was my absolute most favorite time I had ever spent on film sets. I was working as a second AC. I was over the moon. I had learned so much. It helped me so much more as a director. You know what I mean? Because it allowed me to actually cross over. I had obviously done that, all of that in film school, but it's different when you're on set.
Right.
You're dealing with that pressure. I worked on oh my God, what's the film? I shot a film in Thailand. I can't remember.
Something with Ishq, something, right?
Yeah, Ishq actually.
Ishq, actually,
With
yeah.
Rajiv, uh, what's his name?
Kandelwal.
Rajiv. Yes.
Yes.
So I'll give you an example there. I was doing track and trolley. Like, I loved it. I was doing track and trolley. It was boiling hot, and I'm like, this is awesome. And I was doing track and trolley. It was a complicated shot, and I'll never forget this. I had the DOP plus the camera on sticks on a zoom lens with the focus puller, and I'm doing this track and trolley, and we're shooting a song sequence. And I felt very sad because there are not a lot of females. I don't know
On.
now how it is in the camera department. And
Yeah.
here I was trying to break through, and I was doing my job. At the end of the day, whether I'm a male or a female, or how I look or how I don't, I'm doing the job, right? I'm delivering the
Right.
shot, and my boss,
Right.
my DOP, is happy with me. I got kicked off for no reason but the fact that she's a girl. Why is she doing that? Replace her. And I
What?
got kicked out of the shot. Yeah. So I went through a lot of these situations where I was trying to break into the camera department, but I wasn't taken seriously. I really did struggle. And then I kind of moved, but my boss was happy. My boss was totally happy with my progress and what I was doing. So then I moved into focus pulling, and I was doing commercials. I remember I did something for Mazda. I did Vipro. I was doing quite a bit as focus puller. And then I decided that I love focus pulling though. I love it. But then I decided that I'm going to go independent, right? Because if I don't go now, when am I going to go? So after all the commercials and all that kind of groundwork, I took a leap of faith and I started my own production company, Tracing Frames. And I was like, I'm going out with my first film and I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just give it a shot. And it did what it did. So I'm grateful
So
for the time I had all that
from
experience.
working in commercials, from being a focus puller, from being a track and trolley person, from directing documentaries, from directing short features, you have got into events,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
you've got into events. But I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get to that like very shortly. Before that, I want to answer. I want you to answer a few questions, like very quickly in just one word or
Okay.
in just one
But
lines.
then can I
Uh,
ask questions back to you?
yeah, you can. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So everything from a director's point of view.
Okay.
Uh, uh, how is directing different in uh, atoms? One line.
It's more restricted.
Films,
Freedom.
documentary,
Life.
uh, theater.
Present.
Right. Okay. And what do you think is how acting is different in these particular fields? So I'm just gonna ask you quickly. Okay. Theater.
Depth.
Okay.
No, no, no. I
Feature.
grounding. No, no, no. I want to
Feature.
change that. Grounding. In theater, there's grounding as an actor.
Okay. Okay. And feature films
Process.
and ad films.
Showing up.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
I want to ask you those questions.
Uh, okay. See, I'm just gonna talk in very layman terms, like which I feel has been my first interaction with acting in working in different scenarios.
Okay, I'm actually going to make my own questions.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Um, you can only describe it not more than one sentence at the
Okay,
most.
okay.
Favorite moments ever on set?
Like particularly,
Particularly, one moment, favorite ever.
uh, I'm working on this project, and this is my first project ever. And I walk into a set where I've been, I have an entire entourage with me, and they're just taking me from doors to doors. And suddenly, the final doors open, and I see a crowd of 1,000, and the camera is only focusing on me.
Whoa! Most embarrassing moments on set.
Uh, when I get late on set, but it just happened once or twice. That's it. I think that's the only embarrassing moment that I've had.
Most frightful moments on set.
When you're working with a director who doesn't know what he wants.
So well said.
Yeah.
And if you could, okay, what genre, if you could pick, if you had to do a genre for the rest of your life, every day, if it had to be
Yeah.
just one genre, what would it be?
Yeah. Action has to be action. There's a strong reason why I'm not saying this because people think that I'm good at it. I don't. I think I'm still discovering what action is all about. But I seriously feel it's people don't see action the way that it actually is.
Tell us a
Action,
bit more
action.
about that.
I feel action only happens in a film at the moment where there's literally the moment has come when there's like really strong emotions between two characters, and it has come to a point that what they will have to fight now. And I think that is a moment where you can say a lot about your character with not just through your face, not just through your eyes, but with your entire body. So I think it's one of the most expressive forms of storytelling. Revealing much more about your character and surprising yeah, I mean, just surprising the audience altogether, and creating those elements, those wow elements, which ultimately just enhances the entire experience of your film.
Yes, my mom is saying jumping over cars, Vicky. Tell us your most exciting and exhilarating moment that you've had with action on set, be it you or be it you, in any facade of it.
Ah,
London.
okay. What? We have
Sorry, someone said
questions
we met in London in 2018. Was that with me?
in
Maybe it's a
2018
London from
in
London.
London.
I don't remember.
Okay. No, I think
Okay, go ahead. So what
it's
was
the
the I don't know.
can you repeat your question again, please?
So
The
what
most
was one of your
exhilarating
most
and
exhilarating moments doing action on set, if we're a film or any product, but in the sense, be it you or you instructing, you know what I mean?
I would say it was me performing a particular stunt, where I remember I gave the idea. I was the one who gave the idea for it, and then when I was asked that who's gonna do it, and I was like, very casually I said, I'll do it. And next thing I know is I'm hanging upside down from a cliff.
You know, when I used to see Vicky doing more stunts and then they would pop up on my Facebook, my jaw would drop. I remember seeing one where he's like hanging off of a building and I'm messaging him and I'm like, Vicky, can you please get off that building right now? That sounds like an adrenaline rush.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It's. I mean, it's fun. It's scary. It's adventurous, and yeah, it's not easy though. Yeah.
But isn't that all of it? Whether it's film or now I'm doing events, all of it is that adrenaline and that madness and that absolute uncertainty of what's going to really, really
Gauri, then
you up, right? Where you have no idea what is going to happen. Vicky, please be careful on your stunts. They're all safe. They're all done in a. Why don't you kind of disclaim that, Vicky?
yeah,
Not that
it's
anybody feel
it's yes, these stunts are safe to a 99.99%, because nothing is 100% safe. But it's been performed under extreme precautions and under extreme expert supervision, where there are 10 other people who are taking care of you and making sure that it's all safe. So don't worry about it.
right.
Uh,
I have another question for you, Vicky. When it comes to the DOP, I've personally seen actors on set who really kind of take it into their own onus of saying, "Oh, this." Sorry, I'm just putting my phone on charge. Or that kind of comfort with the DOP. And the actor is also there, right? Where sometimes actors feel that insecurity and feel that, oh, am I in safe hands or am I not in safe hands when it comes to the visual representation? Can you share maybe any experiences of that?
I mean, I don't think, I think cinematography is the only time where is the only person, the director of photography is the only person where I don't think you need to be insecure at all.
Yeah,
And that is one guy whom actually I feel that you can trust the most.
yeah,
And trust me, it's if you're somehow find yourself in a situation where you are still insecure about it, I mean, you're just gonna ruin the entire experience for the entire set. I mean, it
yeah.
just doesn't. That guy is there for a reason, and trust me, he
He
knows
knows
his
what he's
job, and
doing.
he's there to help you to look good.
Exactly.
So I mean, and at the same time, in fact, see, this is what one of my very dear friend Ranvijay told me once. For those of you who don't know, Ranvijay, the Ranvijay Singha, I'm sure everybody knows who Ranvijay Singha is. So he told me once that, and I don't know. See, being an actor, I realized this for the first time when he told me this, and he's like, an actor is the only person on set uh, who's uh, like everybody else on set is working to make only him look better.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, everybody is just
Exactly.
focused only on the actor. I mean, everything that
Yeah.
they're doing is only to make him or her look good, look
Yeah.
amazing. So, I mean, I think there is just no need for an actor to feel insecure from any of the team members, I would say.
Yeah.
So
And I think
that's not
that's what
required.
I think
Yeah,
that's a really important point, because it really is about that trust, and that, both kind of working as an AD and working as an AC. I definitely love the functionality of the camera department. Even though I'm a director, I would definitely say if there are other young directors out there that are wanting to get a step into the industry, yes, work as an AD, but I would definitely say if you have an opportunity, take that chance to work as an AC, do anything in the camera department, because it just widens your horizon. And even as an actor, when you understand lensing, which is so important as an actor, you need to understand, yes, as a director, we are there to cover you, but the more you understand that basic foundation, okay, what lens is on? What does that mean? What does it mean if it's a zoom on? I
absolutely. I
need to
mean,
understand what that means. And I
I
think a
think
lot of things
the
that might be
sorry.
overlooked. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Please go on. Now, I
I
just
think
wanted
a
to
lot of times that might.
you say it.
I think. No. You say it.
I think it's important for an actor to have that. I think and the sign of a good actor is just that. I think I would say that that he wants to grow. He
Yes.
wants to understand what the I'm not saying that you're going to be the next future director of photography, or you want to be a future director. I mean, if you are going to, then obviously, then which means you need to learn even more. But there is no need to have that kind of ego on set that that probably better than the DOP who's been
Yeah.
assigned to do his job, or the
Exactly.
director. And also, I just want to bring in Sidney Lumet, the director of Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was watching one of his interviews, and where he was saying that he really likes to technically prepare his actors in terms of staging and blocking, because that's
Yeah.
really enhances the efficiency while they are shooting on set, and
Yeah.
it also saves a lot of time. And I think an actor should learn it. An actor should learn at any given opportunity as possible. They should learn on their own. Also, they should do their own research as well, to reach to a point to be more efficient.
Yeah, because
And
that's a gift, right? The moment
yeah,
that you're directing or you're a DOP, and you're not having to go through those kind of fundamentals, that foundation is there, then you can get on and actually do and explore and discover. Like, for
and
example, for me, in between all the films that I've worked on, between every lunch break, between any break that we had, I was never sitting on my phone and, like, gossiping on the corner. I was attaching myself to every single HOD on that set, gluing to them. And most times I would glue myself to the cinematographers, because that's where I would really enjoy the conversations. And, for example, like, Asim Bajaj, I adore him because he's someone that gives back so much. And I think anybody who's kind of more experienced, senior than you in the industry, don't feel afraid to ask, because when they see that you're serious and you're interested and you want to know more, you will find yourself in situations where they are sharing that knowledge with you. And I spent that entire film basically, taking my plate from during lunch, sitting next to him, gluing myself to him, just asking him every question in the world that I felt like, and I wanted
I
to learn. And
recently
little did
had
I
the
know that
opportunity to
later,
work with him.
oh, he's so delightful.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He
Sorry,
really
I'm
is.
so
And he's
sorry. It
someone
just
that,
brought me
like,
to the moment. Yeah, I could really relate to it because I just recently worked with him. I'm so sorry to have cut you in between. Please continue.
no. Go ahead, share that.
not all, like all good things, like whatever that you were saying, I will like I felt
Yeah,
the same, so that's why it just
yeah.
made me bring that out.
Because that's the thing,
Okay,
right? We
so
always want to
I
grow.
think
We always
we've Gauri, I think this
cross.
chat is never gonna end.
Yeah.
And I think we should keep doing more of these because there's just so much to cover on this, and we're also losing light. And this is
Yeah.
something the director is supposed to say. We're losing
No, I
light.
think so too. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, one last thing. I know, but let's promise each other to meet somewhere in next week and have this session again, more detailed
Yeah.
session on But before we end this, I would really like to know just few things about like you've been directing in so many different situations where you've directed documentaries, you've directed films, you've directed ad films, and now you have your own company called the Big Night,
Yes. So now I've
and
kind of gone into the
where you are, yeah. So you're doing events now. So tell me, how is it different, than directing in films and in documentaries or in ad films?
Um, so the skill set you still use in essence of what is there, especially the events we create at the Big Night. They're very much more of bringing stories to life, and it's more of a storytelling. And the difference is you don't get to have a retake. You know, the event happens once. The bride's gonna walk in once. You got to get it right. But it still takes a sense of the same eye and the same kind of storytelling in a different way. You're using it in a different way. Actually, currently we have this amazing fun giveaway that we're doing where we're giving away our first free virtual event. So it's for anyone that can apply, and it's a virtual event online where you could be having like stepping into a story and a world all with your friends sitting at home in front of your computer.
Guys, that's amazing. I think all of you should go to the Big Night Instagram page and check it out. I mean, you might just be the next winner.
Yeah, it's the Big Night DXB. You can check us out. And I think just before we end, we have a really good question coming in actually from my dad. Why was Godfather so successful? What would you say?
I think I thought I was not watching a film.
Hmm.
I think there's a best way. Like it's when you don't notice, the camera angles, when you don't notice, the performances, and you become just by watching it, you feel like you are sitting inside that room, and you become part of the world. I feel that's what made Godfather was successful in making its audience feel that way, and I feel that's the reason why it was so successful. Also,
Yeah.
I feel some incredible actors and uh, Francis Ford Coppola, the director,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's just so n number of technical aspects which were just brilliant in the film, which just I don't know. I think it's everything.
For me, I feel it's the characters. I think the characters were so well defined and so diverse in their flaws and their strength. You could relate to them even though they were doing the unthinkable. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I really
Yeah.
feel it was the characters.
Yay!
Yay!
We made it.
We made it. Thank you so much
Okay.
for everyone that joined.
Thank you so much, guys, and yeah, I think we're really sorry about the last time, and we're trying really hard. We tried really hard today also to yeah,
Yeah.
kept it going, jumping from one balcony to another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe if
chasing
there's
networks.
anything,
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
guys, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'm gonna share this on the story as well, and I'm gonna try upload this on my IGTV, and Gauri will upload this on her IGTV as
Yes.
well, so that you can refer to it if you have any other acting or action related
Yeah.
queries.
And if there are any other topics or things that you would want us to dive in deeper with when it comes to the director actor process, you can drop any of us a DM and we'd be happy to explore.
I think we should definitely do one where we are talking about the cinematography from a director's point of view and an actor's point of view.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Just speaking about lenses, what it actually means,
Yeah,
not just the technical stuff, but the subtext behind,
yeah,
what is it? Because I remember, like it really fascinated me when I saw a few actors on set, like a long time ago, and then I trained myself to be that good. That an actor asking, like, what's the lens, and I was like, why does an actor need to know what lens is the DOP using?
yeah,
And then he would ask, "Hey, what's my frame?" I mean, and I would wonder, like, he's just such a silly guy. I mean, he should just trust the director. And
yeah.
but that actually makes such a difference, which I later learned, and it has been helping me since a very long time now.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot
yeah,
that
let's definitely do
mirrors
one
over.
session.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good.
All right, amazing.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you, Vicky.
bye, Gauri. Take care.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.